Breaking news coming through to us here at ENCA this afternoon. You can see on the right-hand side of your screen, we are going to get some more information, more details. But this just in a few moments ago, I'm seeing this for the first time. We understand 3 DA members of Parliament, 3 DA MPs, well, they've been attacked. They were out on what is an oversight visit in the area of Philippi, down in the Western Cape. The names are there. Ian Cameron, many of you will know, Nicholas Godsell and Lisa Schikkerling were attacked. They were in the area looking at security concerns, policing, all part of their portfolios as members of Parliament out in Philippi this morning. At this stage, just hearing from our reporter in the area, of course, we don't know if there's been any injuries. I haven't seen anything there. Ian Cameron, you'll know, of course, is the chair of the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Policing. Now I have some information on the second name, middle of your screen, Nicholas Godsell. Nicholas Godsell is the NCOP Select Committee on Security and Justice. And the last name, middle of your screen, Lisa Schikkerling, is a member of the Police Portfolio Committee. At this stage, we understand they were out at the Philippi SAPS Training College. Now I'm getting some more information in. This is when a group of men, I'm not sure how many, they were armed with bricks, had surrounded their vehicle at a traffic light. According to Schikkerling, Lisa Schikkerling, they were then shattering, the men who were surrounding them, shattered the vehicle's windows, injuring all 3 MPs. Thankfully, from what I see here, the vehicle they were in managed to speed away and drive to a nearby petrol station. I understand that Godsell, this is Nicholas Godsell, he did suffer a laceration to his head, while Ian Cameron, he suffered injuries to his lip and chin, and Schikkerling was hit with a brick on the back of the head. So clearly there were some injuries. A few moments ago I was unsure if there were injuries, but based on this report I'm getting through from the team out of Cape Town this afternoon on that breaking news.
3 DA members of Parliament, Ian Cameron, Lisa Schikkerling and Nicholas Godsell, were doing their jobs. They were conducting an oversight visit at the Philippi SAPS Training Academy in the Western Cape. You want to know what happened next? No. Chris Brown didn't come and then they paid tickets. A smash and grab attack. Bricks used to smash their car windows. Ian Cameron needed stitches for his injuries. These weren't just criminals. These weren't just gangsters. These were elected representatives of the people doing official parliamentary business, and then they got attacked like they were enemy combatants in a war zone. But here's the question that should terrify you. When was the last time you heard of ANC MPs getting attacked like this? Of EFF MPs getting attacked like this? This is a pattern you were not supposed to notice, but you will because I'm here. Let me paint you a picture about what's really happening in South Africa's political landscape. DA MPs are getting attacked. Check. DA ministers getting fired. Check. DA politicians getting persecuted. Check. ANC members facing consequences for their corruption? Never. ANC politicians getting attacked? Never. ANC ministers being held accountable and EFF for singing Kill the Boer? Never. What on earth is accountability? This isn't coincidence. This is a pattern. And I can prove that. Because speaking of persecution, let's talk about your favorite Andrew Whitfield. President Ramaphosa fired this deputy minister of the DA because he undertook an international visit without the permission of the president. Just like your military chief. So let me get this straight. Whitfield actually did request permission to travel abroad, writing to the president on February 12th. But he gets fired anyway. And then the SANDF guy goes to Iran without anyone knowing, and then he doesn't get fired. In fact, they tell you in the news that, oh, we didn't know about it, but it's fine. He's entitled to his own opinion, and whatever he says, we don't mind at all. They're making decisions about the DA's future while we're watching. Jacob Zuma had 300 plus corruption charges and became the president. Andrew Whitfield asks permission to travel and gets fired. The double standard isn't just obvious, it is insulting our intelligence because the degenerates are winning. This attack on the DA MPs isn't happening in a vacuum. It's part of a broader collapse where degeneracy is not just tolerated, it is rewarded. We live in a society where criminals become heroes, corruption is explained away as learning experiences, violence against politicians, innocent politicians, is ignored if they are from the wrong party, accountability only applies to some people. An 18-year-old was arrested for this attack. 18 years old. This is a teenager who should be playing GTA 5 and who thought it was acceptable to attack members of parliament with bricks. Where on earth did this kid learn that political violence is okay? Where did he get the idea that some politicians deserve to be hurt and others don't? There is a protected class and then there is a targeted class, and I know you can see it because here's the uncomfortable truth. South Africa has created two classes of politicians. The first one is the protected class, the ANC. They can steal billions without consequences, can make hate speeches without any arrest, can start national dialogues with no consequences, can destroy institutions without accountability, can walk free despite hundreds of charges, and never get randomly attacked by angry teenagers. And then there's the targeted class, which is the opposition parties. Get fired for following proper procedures, get attacked while doing their jobs, get banned for problems they didn't create, face consequences for things ANC members do daily. They constantly have to watch their backs. Why? Is this democracy? Or is this political persecution with extra steps? You tell me. Because when does random crime become political terrorism, good people? The DA MPs were conducting official duties when they were ambushed. This wasn't a random mugging. This was a targeted attack after a parliamentary oversight visit. But watch how the media will spin this. MPs become victims of Cape Town crime. Random robbery affects politicians. Crime doesn't discriminate. Nonsense! Crime absolutely discriminates. Show me the last time Becky Cele got attacked with bricks while doing oversight. Show me the last time Cyril Ramaphosa needed stitches after being ambushed by teenagers. The silence is deafening because the attacks are not random. The worst part of all this is that the youth are being weaponized. The most terrifying part of the story is that the attacker was 18 years old. Someone who was 12 years old when Ramaphosa became president. This kid has been raised in the current political environment. And what has he learned? That certain politicians are targets, that opposition party members don't deserve respect, that violence against the right people is acceptable. We are raising a generation of political terrorists who think attacking MPs with bricks is normal behavior. And the scary part, in current South Africa, they might be right. This is international embarrassment on a different level. Imagine trying to explain this to foreign investors. Well, yes, our MPs did get attacked with bricks while doing parliamentary duties, but they only get attacked if they are from certain parties. You see, the ruling member parties are never mysteriously affected by the random crimes, you see. What international democracy operates like this? What civilized country allows elected representatives to be hunted like prey while others walk around untouchable? We have become a banana republic with better marketing. This is a joke, a dark joke, because we live in an age where police worked through the night to catch the attackers. Wow! Such dedication for protecting DA MPs. But where was this urgency when state capture was happening? Where was this working through the night energy when billions were being stolen from Eskom, Transnet, SAA? Suddenly, when DA MPs get attacked, police can actually solve crimes now. But Jacob Zuma's 300 plus charges, it's complicated. The selectivity is honestly insulting. The media's complicity is just as insulting, because watch how this story gets buried. Watch how it becomes just another crime story instead of what it actually is. Political terrorism against opposition politicians. Meanwhile, if a single ANC member stubbed their toe, it would be front page news about attacks on democracy and threats to the ruling party. The media isn't just biased. They are actively complicit in normalizing violence against certain politicians while protecting others. It's insane. This is the real question you should be asking. Here is what you need to ask yourself. In a functioning democracy, should MPs from opposition parties need bodyguards while ruling party MPs can walk around freely? Should political affiliation determine whether you are a target for violence or not? Should teenagers feel comfortable attacking elected representatives with bricks? No pun intended. If your answer to any of these questions is yes, then you are part of the problem. This is an escalation pattern because this won't stop here. Political violence always escalates. Today it's bricks through car windows. Tomorrow it could be something worse, much, much worse. And when it happens, the same people who ignored this attack will suddenly discover their concern for political violence and threats to democracy. But only if it happens to the right people. That is sick. This attack proves that many of us already knew. It proves what many of us already knew, rather. South Africa has different rules for different political parties. Opposition politicians are targets, not public servants like everyone else, and violence against certain groups is tolerated or even encouraged. The rule of law applies selectively. We're not a democracy. We are a one-party state with democratic window dressing at this point. We can keep pretending this is normal. We can keep accepting that some politicians deserve protection while others deserve bricks to the face. Or we can admit that political persecution is happening right in front of us and it's destroying what is left of our democracy. The DA is getting bullied and it's deliberate. It says it all. This whole situation says it all. The DA is getting bullied. Not accidentally, it's systematically happening. It's deliberate. It's designed to send a message to anyone who dares to oppose the ruling party, the ANC. The message is clear. Fall in line or face the consequences. But here's what these bullies don't understand. Bullying opposition parties doesn't make you strong. It makes you weak. Because it proves you cannot win through ideas, policies, or simple competence and discipline. You have to resort to violence, persecution, and intimidation. Shows the level of degeneracy you are. 3 MPs needed medical treatment after being attacked with bricks. Amastina. Itina. This is our reality now. This is how democracy looks when one party is protected and the others are hunted. If this doesn't wake you up to what is happening in South Africa, nothing will. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. What do you think? Is this really random crime or political persecution? Are opposition politicians being deliberately targeted? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't hold back. Share this with everyone who needs to see how political bullying works in modern South Africa. Like if you think all MPs deserve protection, regardless of the party they're in. And subscribe if you want someone who won't sugarcoat the systematic persecution happening right in front of us. If this channel gets deleted by the time you watch this video, that's okay. You can still subscribe. You can subscribe to Don Summer Sambit. The link is in the description below. Because I am one video away from being deleted completely from YouTube. So before they think they can chop our heads up, let's pop up somewhere else like the lizards we are. Let's pop up somewhere else like poisonous mushrooms. They think they remove the Summer Sambit, Don Summer Sambit comes. Don't worry, if the is removed, Uncle Don will handle the Saul. The Don will handle the Saul. The Don will be 10 times worse. Because if they thought this was bad, they made a big mistake deleting this channel. I'll see you next time.
Police are still this afternoon searching for a third suspect in connection with an attack on DAMP Ian Cameron and two of his colleagues in Philippinia, Cape Town. Cameron, Lisa Marie Schickerling and Nicholas Gotzel were returning from an oversight visit to a police training college yesterday afternoon when they were ambushed. During the altercation, an 18-year-old boy was shot and is now under police guard in hospital. A second teenager, a 16-year-old, was arrested in the early hours of this morning, and a third suspect is on the run. They face charges of attempted murder and attempted hijacking. Now, Newsroom Africa's Nasipi Same is following that story. Nasipi, we spoke to Ian Cameron on the AM report just earlier today here on 405, and we'll bring our viewers a reminder of that discussion after your interview with one of the other people who was attacked yesterday, and that's Nicholas Gotzel.
Indeed, Michelle, and just to go back to the police's statement this morning that they are still in pursuit of a third suspect. We do know now that two people have been taken in or arrested by police, and just yesterday, around afternoon, three members of parliament, following an oversight visit to the Philippi Police Academy, came under attack in Philippi, where three assailants smashed the car that they were traveling in. But to detail and talk to us further, just to add on that conversation that we had in the morning with Ian Cameron, I am joined by Nicholas. Firstly, thank you for joining us. I mean, less than 24 hours after that incident occurred, we heard from Ian this morning how badly injured you were yesterday.
Yes, it was a bad injury, as you can see. I'm very grateful, of course. I'm grateful to be here to tell the tale. But I'm also very grateful to my colleagues, Lisa and Ian. They really, Ian acted with such bravery. And Lisa also in the aftermath, typical mother. Also to the police, they were there on the scene and law enforcement. But, the reality is that it was a violent attack. After they smashed Ian's window, I couldn't see through the window. And he had, kind of started screaming at them and fighting back. And when I looked through the back passenger window, I could see the aggression on the attacker's face. And in that moment, I knew that they're not going away and we are under attack. So I then, at that moment, obviously my window was smashed. And when I kind of came by, I was lying with my head on my lap, quite a lot of blood. Ian realized that we needed to get away, and this is after he obviously responded. But after we left and we went to the petrol station, what was quite interesting to me is that nobody followed, nobody came to see if we're okay. And it made me question, what is it that prevents people from responding in that moment? Are they just too sensitized to these types of attack? Or are they too scared to come forward? And that is where our job becomes so important. We need to build a police force that people trust, that people can trust to come forward and say, this is what I saw, even if it's just the slightest bit of information. And so hopefully through this incident we can build on that. That's certainly what we were doing in Philippi yesterday. We went to do an oversight at the police college, and it definitely won't be a deterrent. This is not just an attack on us or a normal attack. It's also an attack on oversight. It's an attack on the people voted by the residents of any area, in any community, for us to do oversight and to build better communities, stronger, safer communities.
Nicholas, if you could just take us through your injuries. We understand that you admitted yesterday you had to be taken to hospital.
Yes, so the brick had hit an artery, and there was quite a lot of blood. So at the time when Ian was trying to get away, I think he could see the kind of projectile way that the blood was squirting. I fortunately had a jacket in my hand, so I used that when I kind of realized what was going on. I had to get stitches, but it was quite difficult for them to actually contain in the beginning when the two, as I call them, the ambulance angels arrived, Jason and Lee Shay. They had quite a tough time to kind of keep the wound at bay because of the nature of the injury, and it was quite a long, they say, about 4 centimeter cut. And then even at the hospital, they had to stitch it up, and that wasn't easy.
I mean, this morning we went back to the scene where the incident happened less than 24 hours ago, and speaking to the CPF secretary, Dumisani Koebe, he was telling us that hours before your attack, there was another person that was, there was an attempted smash and grab in that particular stretch of road, which is notorious for such incidents. And looking at how young these people were, you were telling us that they were not even covered.
No, the one person I saw definitely was not covered. The way in which they attacked us, first the one window, then the other, obviously the one that I saw through the back window was obviously looking to see what there is to rob. And that kind of tells me that they knew they had time. It wasn't as simple as quickly breaking and seeing if they can find something. There were at least 3 of them who broke 3 windows. And if Ian hadn't reacted in the way that he did, they would have come for more. And it could have been far worse. But the fact that you say that would have been the second incident on the day also just brings me back to the fact that we need to build safer communities. We need to ask, where are the police resources that we so often in our work highlight and ask for? Why is it that people feel comfortable in doing random brazen attacks like this, vicious as they are? And what does that say about the sense that they get about the police? They obviously don't fear them.
We'll have to leave it there. That is Nicholas, DA MP, one of the 3 MPs that came under attack yesterday in Philippi. We understand that police are investigating a case of attempted murder, and that 2 teens have been arrested so far. They are still in pursuit of another suspect, and Nicholas there describing the brazen act of criminality and saying that more needs to be done, which is ensuring that resources are deployed where they are most needed, seeing that this particular stretch of road is known and notorious for smash and grabs, including attempted hijackings.